You're not lost. You're not behind schedule. You are precisely where your soul needs you to be for the next extraordinary step of your journey. Have you ever wondered what happens when we wake up from a dream so vivid that reality itself seems like the illusion? What if I told you that what we call death might actually be the ultimate awakening, and life as we know it is just the beginning of something far more magnificent? Ancient wisdom keepers, brilliant minds throughout history, and countless souls who've glimpsed beyond the veil, all whisper the same secret. Consciousness doesn't end when the body stops. It simply spreads its wings and soars into infinite possibility. In the spiritual realm, every moment pulses with the deep desire to evolve, to expand the very light of existence itself. Death reveals itself not as a period ending a sentence, but as a comma in an epic story written across countless lifetimes. Picture this: each soul, upon leaving its physical form, enters what can only be described as a cosmic waiting room, a space of profound transition where consciousness gently adjusts to its new reality. Here, time becomes meaningless, anxiety dissolves, fear evaporates, and material attachments fall away like old clothes that no longer fit. Yet this process unfolds uniquely for each soul, depending on their level of spiritual awakening and understanding. What happens next might surprise you. Nothing is imposed, nothing is forced. In this sacred space, fundamental choices emerge, reviewing the life just lived, connecting with spiritual mentors, and consciously planning the next steps of evolution. The soul holds absolute freedom to decide what it needs for continued growth. Understanding this reality transforms everything. Each moment becomes precious. Grief softens its sharp edges, guilt dissolves like mist, and the paralyzing fear of death transforms into deep reverence for existence itself. But here's what many don't realize: the moment of death doesn't magically resolve everything. The soul's awakening in the spiritual plane can be a time of profound reflection, and it's not always easy. Many souls arriving on the other side find themselves feeling lost, trapped in old patterns of resentment, guilt, and earthly attachments they carried from physical life. Others struggle to understand what they truly need to learn to continue evolving, creating a kind of spiritual fog, where the soul feels confused and stagnant. This is why there's an essential process called a life review. In this transformative phase, the soul works with spiritual mentors, beings of immense wisdom and compassion, to revisit the life just completed. But this isn't about judgment. It's about understanding through a loving and truthful analysis what was experienced, what was learned, what could have been approached differently. Imagine watching a movie of your own existence, but not just seeing it, feeling the impact of every thought, every action, every choice you made. This moment of reflection becomes profoundly liberating when the soul finally understands its own limitations and potentials clearly, seeing exactly which lessons still need to be learned. With this clarity, it can begin planning its next steps. Knowing that this review of life awaits us should be an urgent call to live more consciously right now. Every word we speak, every gesture of love or indifference, every choice of courage or fear, it all matters. It all echoes beyond the material world. Don't wait for the spiritual plane to reflect on your life. Take a moment now and ask yourself, if I were to watch the movie of my life today, what would I feel? Use this question as your compass to guide your next actions. At the end of the life review, when the soul has gained complete clarity, comes perhaps the most fascinating part: planning the next incarnation. Here's where most people get it wrong. They imagine the soul plans a perfect existence without pain or challenges. The truth is exactly the opposite. The soul's growth happens through experiences, and the most powerful experiences often involve pain, overcoming obstacles, forgiveness, and unconditional love. The soul chooses its missions based on what it still needs to balance, learn, or strengthen. If, in a past life, The soul developed great intelligence but neglected compassion. It might choose a life requiring deeper connection with human emotions. If there was pride, perhaps it will embrace a mission of humility. If fear dominated, it might choose a challenge requiring courage. What defines the next mission isn't punishment imposed from outside. It's a loving decision born from within, the soul itself, supported by spiritual mentors who help visualize the best paths, while ensuring the final choice remains free. This brings us to one of the most profound mysteries. Why were you born exactly where you were born, in a particular family with those specific characteristics, challenges, and gifts? When we talk about choosing parents, we're discussing one of the most crucial decisions the soul makes before reincarnating. Nothing is random, even in the most difficult cases involving rejection, abandonment, or suffering. There's a profound purpose. From the soul's perspective, what matters isn't comfort, but growth. The soul chooses parents who offer exactly the conditions necessary to experience what it needs. Sometimes this means being born into homes full of love and support to learn about trust, joy, and self-esteem. Other times it means incarnating into challenging families to work on resilience, compassion, self-forgiveness, or to break ancestral cycles of pain. This choice isn't random or forced. The soul, together with spiritual mentors, analyzes various possibilities before deciding. It perceives the energy of future parents, their tendencies, their karmic patterns, their potential for evolution. It evaluates the environment where it will grow, the values it will receive, the challenges it will face. Many souls even make pacts before birth, sacred agreements with other souls who commit to playing important roles as fathers, mothers, siblings, grandparents. Sometimes these souls already know each other from other lives, bound by deep connections of love or mutual learning opportunities. Have you ever wondered why you were born in this specific country, culture, at this exact moment in history? Every detail of your living environment was carefully chosen by your soul before reincarnation. Living day by day, many people feel trapped in harsh realities, poverty, violence, inequality, or environments where values seem reversed. In the midst of challenges, it's easy to believe the world is unfair and senseless. But when we look with the soul's eyes, we see something completely different. Culture, country, era, all are settings for learning. The soul chooses its environment as part of the script it helped write. If it needs to learn compassion, it may be born where pain is visible, where it will be called to act. If it needs courage, it might come during times of intense change. If it needs creativity and adaptability, it may choose cultures rich in diversity but challenging in resources. But what about free will? If everything has been chosen by the soul, do you still have choice? This is one of the most powerful and liberating questions we can ask. Yes, before being born, your soul mapped out a plan showing challenges, opportunities, and important encounters. But this doesn't mean everything is written in stone. Free will exists and is sovereign. The soul's plan is like a sketch of a great map showing paths, alternatives, and possibilities, but you hold the compass and decide which trail to follow. With each conscious choice, you realign your path with your soul's greater plan. There's no such thing as permanently going off course. Even decisions that seem to take you away from your purpose will eventually become material for learning. Some encounters carry an energy you can feel in your very being. It's as if time stops for a moment, as if the entire universe whispers, "Pay attention." These encounters aren't random, they're reunions of souls. Before incarnating souls that share strong bonds of love, friendship, mission, or partnership agree to meet again in the physical plane. These are the so-called soulmates or soul companions. The soul recognizes its future soulmate not with physical eyes, but through energy, an intense sense of familiarity, inexplicable magnetism, sometimes profound peace, Other times, a whirlwind that turns life upside down, forcing growth. The recognition is subtle but powerful, a look that seems to pierce layers of existence, a conversation that flows as if resumed from where it left off, a feeling of "I know you" from somewhere without logical explanation. But recognizing a soulmate doesn't mean the relationship will always be easy. Often these connections bring intense challenges, precisely because they were arranged to awaken points that need healing, freedom, and strengthening. There are different types of spiritual connections, each with a specific purpose in your growth. Soulmates are spirits sharing a deep, eternal bond, like two sparks from the same flame vibrating at the same frequency. They meet throughout many lifetimes to help each other evolve. Soul companions walk with you during specific moments of your journey, friends, family members, mentors who love you and choose to support your growth, but not necessarily through grand emotional revolutions. Before reincarnating, you make spiritual contracts with several souls, agreements based on love and commitment to evolution. You promise to help a soul learn self-esteem while they help you work on forgiveness. Some contracts involve joyful, transformative encounters. Others involve deep challenges, betrayals, abandonments, losses. All of this serves a higher purpose. You have never been and will never be alone. From the moment your soul decided to reincarnate, a team of love and wisdom was assigned to accompany every step of your journey, your spiritual guides. These more evolved consciousnesses commit to guide, protect, and inspire you during life on Earth. They don't control your choices, fully respecting your free will, but offer signs, intuitions, and support to help you align with your soul's plan. How do they work? Through sudden intuitions, that inner voice saying "go this way" without apparent reason. External signs, like a song playing at the perfect moment, or a phrase jumping from a book. Dreams, with vivid encounters where you feel immense peace or receive subtle messages. People who appear on your path as instruments, delivering messages or opening doors. For centuries, karma has been misunderstood as cosmic punishment, a way to pay for past mistakes. This generated fear, guilt, and helplessness. But the truth is far more liberating. Karma is simply the natural law of cause and effect. Each thought, word, and action generates energy that eventually returns to us, not as punishment, but as opportunity for balance and learning. Reincarnation is the perfect mechanism the soul uses to harmonize these energies throughout many lives, constantly adjusting actions, choices, and lessons while always evolving toward love, wisdom, and freedom. If you abused power in a past life, you might choose to learn responsibility and humility in this one. If you caused emotional pain, you may experience situations that awaken empathy and respect for others' feelings. When witnessing extreme suffering, severe illnesses, extreme poverty, wars, irreparable losses, the natural tendency is to think this is unfair. This is punishment. But through the soul's eyes, the perspective completely changes. Some souls choose extremely difficult lives to accelerate spiritual growth, balance old karmas, or help in humanity's collective evolution. They come with missions to illuminate places of pain, awaken dormant hearts, and teach about compassion, strength, forgiveness, and resilience. Before incarnating, these souls know it will be hard. They see the life plan, the losses, obstacles, scars, and still say yes. Why? Because they feel that through this experience, they can expand their light in a deep and powerful way. You didn't come into this world just to survive. You came to live with purpose, and your soul knows exactly what that purpose is. Your life's purpose isn't something you need to invent. It already exists, inscribed in your soul's essence. Connecting with it is a process of remembering, awakening, and rediscovering. Watch for signs and synchronicities when you're approaching your purpose. The universe conspires in your favor. The right people appear, Unexpected opportunities arise. Enlightened ideas strike like lightning. Your soul has left signs everywhere. In your passions, old dreams, the pains that hurt most, and talents that shine even when you try to ignore them. Look at your life with all its beauty, pains, ups and downs, and receive this truth. You are exactly where you should be. It doesn't matter if the path was harder than planned, if you stumbled, got lost, or started over 1,000 times. Every step, every choice, every tear and smile were necessary to bring you to this moment of awareness and awakening. The human mind loves comparing, saying you're late, haven't done enough, should be somewhere else. But the soul knows, the soul recognizes that everything blooms at the perfect time. There are no delays in the universe, no unforgivable mistakes, only paths, detours, reunions, and infinite chances to start again. Trust your path, even when you can't see the next step. Your soul does. Accept your past. Everything that happened, even what hurt, was raw material for evolution. Honor your present today is a sacred gift, life pulsing here and now, full of possibilities. Build your future with awareness. Choose thoughts that uplift, actions that build, loves that set you free. You are an eternal soul on an extraordinary journey. And even if you sometimes forget, thousands of beings of light, guides, and soul companions cheer for you at every step. So the next time doubt or fear tries to stop you, remember, your soul already knows the way. You just have to trust and move forward.